All we got is us look down the bench like it's championship or bust. Next man up. All we got is us look down the bench like it's championship or bust. What's up, y'all? Welcome to New York Liberty Fan TV. The New York Liberty moved to 26-7, franchise best. Still stay number 2 in the East and defeat the Connecticut Sun after being down by 20 points. This was a come from behind victory like no other. This was a huge game, but before I do so, before I chop it up and get any further into this, I need y'all to do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that follow button, turn on your notifications for New York Liberty Fan TV. We are presented by the Bucket for Bucket Podcast Network, so stay tuned. You already know the vibes. I'm your boy Rem. We had a long break. The New York Liberty were off for about 6 days. We was pulling the hair that we have left out of our heads. We was lost without you, New York Liberty, and we needed our fix. But prior to that, we already know y'all was taking care of business on the road. We are still patiently waiting for you guys to touch that to touch the road to come back home and come see us. But we are out here. We are waiting for you. Like I said, today was a great game. It wasn't a great game in the sense of the New York Liberty played like crap the first half, but it just goes to show you that these two teams are real deal. I've said this before on this podcast. I've said this before, and I'm going to repeat it again. I know that we always get caught up in the hoopla and the hype of, oh, the New York Liberty and the Las Vegas Aces, New York Liberty, Las Vegas Aces. But I always say that the Connecticut Sun is the team that we need to get through in order for us to get to that promised land and win. And there will be the true test and the true testament. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, Brianna Jones is out. She's out for the season. This should be a cakewalk. The Connecticut Sun are rebuilding. Nope, wrong. They are not. They are a solid team from the coaching to the last person on the bench. They have a lot to offer on that team and on that table. So I do want to give a shout out to the Connecticut Sun because they are a good test for the New York Liberty. However, they have now fallen 3-0 this season. We have one more matchup. They coming to check us in Brooklyn. I believe September 1st on Caribbean night. They coming to check us. But this is the third victory that we got against the Connecticut Sun this season, and this one was probably the biggest one and the best one, and it kind of really showed what we all about. Again, we were down by as much as 20 points. We did not lead once the second half. We didn't lead at all in the second half. The closest thing we got was Sabrina's game-tying free throws that sent this to overtime. We finally got our first lead in that second half in overtime. That's when we got that first lead and kind of broke away, especially with that Stewie 3. But this was crazy. This was one of the craziest games because we didn't have it. Like I said, you look at the tail of the tape, the Connecticut Sun are winning this head-to-head matchup with the Liberty. I don't remember exactly, but it's probably like 28-17. I don't remember. I could be mixing it up with the Aces, but our head-to-head matchup has not been great, but this season we are starting to gain traction. We're starting to catch up to that, which is amazing. And you see all of the effort that is being put in by this team for us to kind of, put our foot in the ground and set this in stone that, hey, we are the best team in the East, and we are trying to prove this, and we are trying to dethrone the Connecticut Sun because they are a very not only historic, but they're a very successful franchise. They've been in the playoffs. They've clinched playoffs for many years. They haven't won a championship, but they've gotten very close. And just because they're without Brianna Jones doesn't mean that they've given up on their championship hopes, and they're really trying their best to get there. A reason why this game today was so important, because as you know, they are still battling for that second spot. These are 2 out of 3 teams, the only 3 teams to clinch playoff spots: the Las Vegas Aces, the New York Liberty, and the Connecticut Sun. And the Connecticut Sun, they are still trying to creep up to that second spot, which we are comfortably sitting in right now. Not too comfortably before this game, but we are sitting there, and we need to continue to get these W's. This was important because we were in second place. Another reason why this game here was important, it was in Connecticut, and they were celebrating Alyssa Thomas. It was AT bobblehead night, and they are making their run in their campaign for why Alyssa Thomas should be MVP. And I'm going to tell y'all, she's great. She's doing a great job, but I got reasons why she shouldn't be. And I'll tell you who. You already know the deal. But like I said, it was a big night, so we had to kind of quiet them down. And also, Dewana Bana, we have to congratulate her because we not haters on this channel. We respect the WNBA. We respect what the ladies are doing. Dewana Bana ties Sue Bird. She dropped 30 tonight. She tied Sue Bird for seventh all time in scoring. And this is her 14th season. This is probably one of her top 3 seasons of all time, and this is dope to see that. But we had to spoil it tonight. We had to spoil all the fun tonight because we had to get this W, and that is exactly what we did. Down by as much as 20 points. They started the game. The Connecticut Sun started the game 13-0 run. Dewana Bana knocking down threes. Alyssa Thomas, a lot of movement. Just a lot going on. They were very active. And, anybody seeing this game could see that the Liberty were in trouble at the start. We went into the half down about 14 points. And like I said, it exploded to as much as 20-point lead. And I have to shout out JJ because JJ, as you know, she's a former Connecticut Sun, traded there on draft night. She had a good career there, MVP seasons and everything like that. But JJ, she really had to step it up because it felt like Alyssa Thomas and Dewana Bana was especially coming for her and dropping those buckets and, putting the ball on the floor and doing certain things to kind of get her out of her balance. But JJ, she definitely had a response for that, and she attacked that paint. She tore them up on the inside. They just did not have anything to contain her, and that's the level of JJ that we need on a nightly basis in order for this team to continue. And we know when JJ has nights like this team is absolutely unstoppable. So it was dope to see JJ kind of step it up and not get folded under pressure when the Connecticut Sun were going at her, and we kept this all together. So shout out to them. Let's get into the team comparison real quick. The team comparison, the 3-point ball, Connecticut, they hit more threes than us, surprisingly. The New York Liberty, we lead in threes, but the Connecticut Sun, they shoot at a better percentage, and they knocked them down today. They shot 11 of 32 to our 8 of 31. Field goals, they hit 36 out of 76 to our 33 out of 75. It was a close one. Assists, both of our teams, we moved the basketball a lot. Very unselfish basketball. 23 assists for the New York Liberty, 27 for the Connecticut Sun. And it was the rebounding. The rebounding is where we won by 6. 47-41. It was a great rebounding game because they got Alyssa Thomas and some other help over there to get. But again, JJ and Breanna Stewart both with double doubles to solidify us and hold us down for those rebounds. It was, like I said, it was a balanced night. 21-14, 2 blocks and an assist for JJ. She was one of our players of the game. I didn't know who to give the player of the game to, but Breanna Stewart, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. And JJ, 21-14, 1 assist, 2 blocks. And then you look at Sabrina Ionescu. She had 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and then those big threes in the fourth quarter, as well as the game time free throws to send it to overtime. Courtney Vandersloot with 13 points, 8 assists. She is leading the league in assists, and Alyssa Thomas is right behind her. So this was a key matchup because you see a lot of top tier talent taking the floor, just to compete. And we do know this is a potential playoffs matchup, maybe potential finals matchup. We'll see. We don't know, but this was a huge game for us to get. We don't want to have all games like we started today. We don't want to go down by 20 points. And I'm just saying this was a good test. This was a great test, especially going into the playoffs. They were a little bit flat. They did not have their legs under them because we were off 6 days. So sometimes it gets like that. It could be a gift or a curse. It could be, hey, I'm well rested, I'm finna go. Or it could be, damn, yo, like I got to get my legs under me. So it's good to see that we were able to get that through, get this test right before the playoffs against a really good team, get that headway and go on. I started the show by telling y'all the Connecticut Sun, they had a bobblehead night for Alyssa Thomas. They have proclaimed her MVP. They are making their run. And the New York Liberty, we need y'all to make y'all run. We need y'all to make a case and start making the case for Breanna Stewart. The same way that A'ja Wilson has her Asian nights, and the Aces are starting to make bids for MVP. The Connecticut Sun are making a bid. The Brooklyn, the Brooklyn, the Barclays Center, the New York Liberty Organization, we need to come together and we need to start making our campaigns for the Breanna Stewart MVP run of 2023 because hands down, unequivocally, Breanna Stewart is this league's MVP. And I wanted to give y'all 30 reasons why, but I'm not going to be that petty. I'm not going to go crazy and tell you all the reasons why Breanna Stewart is this league's MVP this year. But I won't just say, oh, because she's the best player on the best team. Power rankings say the New York Liberty are the best. But hey, that's neither here or there. I'm just gonna say it like this: why Breanna Stewart is MVP because I see everybody talking. I know A'ja Wilson had a 53-point game the other day. Recency bias. Y'all like to get caught up in that. She's the best player on a super team. Then you go over to the Connecticut side. They're like, oh, Alyssa Thomas has all these triple doubles and this, that, and the third. And we like to get caught up and we forget so easily sometimes. And you're gonna be like, oh, this is just a biased guy saying Breanna Stewart should be MVP of this league. And I'm not just saying that because I cover the New York Liberty and I love the New York Liberty and I think that they're the best. But I'm going to say this with numbers. I'm going to say this with numbers, and hopefully we can all agree, or maybe agree to disagree. But this is why Breanna Stewart is this league's MVP. Breanna Stewart leads her team in points, rebounds, free throws made, field goals made, blocks, and steals. Those are pretty major categories, which shows that she's playing on both sides of the ball. She's averaging a career high in points. She has 3 40-point games in one season, the first in WNBA history. She has the most points in New York Liberty history. She capped that at 732 today, but she kept going. She also holds the franchise scoring record. You've seen what she did on that opening night. In the entire WNBA, Breanna Stewart is number 2 in points per game. She's number 4 in rebounds, and she's number 4 in blocks. Her team moved from the bottom of the playoff race to the top in the East, number 2, and is now a heavy favorite, a contender. One thing that doesn't get brought up enough is that Breanna Stewart, she often guards the opposing team's best player. I want to bring up the occasion on the 3 or 4 times we've already played the Aces. She's locked up A'ja Wilson twice. She's held A'ja Wilson under 10 points, where she was the primary defender. On the Commissioner's Cup game, let's not forget, Breanna Stewart was the primary defender on A'ja Wilson. The 40-point game, Breanna Stewart was the primary defender on A'ja Wilson. We cannot forget, in May, she locked up Alyssa Thomas. Alyssa Thomas failed to score 10 points. Also, she guards the best players. When we see in the Minnesota Lynx, she's guarding Nafisa. When we see the Los Angeles Sparks, she's guarding Nneka, and so on and so on. And she is doing an amazing job at guarding these players. So if you're talking about the MVP criteria, I need y'all to put some respect on Breanna Stewart's name because it's going. We still have more season left, and she's still doing historic things on a nightly basis for this New York Liberty team. Mind you, this New York Liberty team does not become a contender without Breanna Stewart coming here to Brooklyn, New York to make this happen. She has completely changed the New York Liberty organization. She has changed this what's going on in the city and what winning looks like for us, and she has given us a real shot. Breanna Stewart, hands down, this season is the 2023 MVP, in my humble opinion. I believe so. No disrespect to A'ja Wilson, no disrespect to Alyssa Thomas. They are both great players. They're doing great things. But what Breanna Stewart is doing for the New York Liberty is huge. This team was not a contender last year, and this team has moved into contention. She is averaging pretty much a double-double. She is leading her team in most major categories. Rebounding and blocks is crazy to me because she's on the same team as Jonquel Jones. And she's third on this team in assists. She moves the ball. She does a lot. So as our leader, I humbly vote Breanna Stewart for MVP. and she should lock that in this season. So we'll see how that goes. All right, before I go, I do have some quick buckets for y'all. Like I said, the New York Liberty. Our next game is on Saturday against the Minnesota Lynx, where Breanna Stewart will most likely be guarding up on Napheesa Collier because that's what she does. That's what MVPs do. But yeah, our next game is on Saturday against the Minnesota Lynx. But before we go, like I always say, I got some quick buckets because we like to discuss the WNBA. And shout out to the WNBA. Again, we not haters over here. A'ja Wilson, she dropped 53 the other night, a career high. And I guess it's amazing for the WNBA because y'all don't have to say what's his face name no more. The person who actually held that career high prior to A'ja Wilson, and I know y'all hate her, so we won't say her name. But A'ja Wilson tied that career high, and now that's A'ja Wilson's record. So we'll see that. Happy birthday to Kelsey Plum. It's her birthday today, so shout out to her. She's one of my favorite players, even though I am a New York Liberty fanatic. I am not a hater of these ladies. They be killing it. But again, tonight we have 4 games on the WNBA slate. The New York Liberty was the first one, and they got that W. You know how that went down. The second one, the Seattle Storm, they fell to the Indiana Fever. Crazy game. Jewel Lloyd had 32 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. And Kelsey Mitchell, she said, I got 4 more reasons why I'm a little hotter than you. She dropped 36, 1 rebound, and 2 assists. Kelsey Mitchell is real deal. Like, she's real deal. One of my favorite players, especially this year. Like, I'm learning a lot about her, and I like her game. I like your game, shorty. I like your game. The next game, Las Vegas Aces and the Chicago Sky. This was a closer game than I thought. I definitely would have taken that spread of 14.5, but they only won by 7 points, 94-87. The Las Vegas Aces win this one. The top performers of this game, Jackie Young with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Marina Mabry, she's getting into her rhythm, 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. And that last final game, it was a chippy one the other night. The Minnesota Lynx and the Dallas Wings. It was chippy, but the Minnesota Lynx got y'all number again, Dallas. They won 90-81. Top performers, Napheesa Collier with 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Sierra McCowan with 23 and 18. Damn, girl, 23 and 18. She went ham. That's what's up. But that's all the games for the WNBA slate today. It's your boy Rem. This is New York Liberty Fan TV presented by the Bucket for Bucket Podcast Network. Peace, y'all. All we got is us look down the bench like a championship or bust. Next man up. All we got is us look down the bench like a championship or bust. Next man.